Welcome back, viewers. My name is Ankur Saini, and I am your host of the day. We've got our registered migration agent, Mr. Saurabh Smar, with us. How are you, Saurabh?
I'm very well. Ankur, how are you today?
I am on top of the world today. You know why, but yes, there is actually.
Absolutely.
Thank you very much for your support till the time. And this actually a very, very good news, viewers, for the talented people. If you've got talent, permanent residency is actually waiting for you. Saurabh,
Absolutely.
Saurabh is going to discuss the global talent visa updates with us. So if you know that something is related to talent you've got, wait for further session from Saurabh. Saurabh, take over from now.
Thanks, Ankur. Thank you for coming back again today. And as our viewers know, we do this weekly. And my name is Saurabh Samar. I'm a registered migration agent. My migration agent registration number is 1802044. And this show is most importantly is actually only for education purpose. And what I would recommend people is to share this video with your friends and families. Probably it might be helpful for them. Most importantly, I would like to notify our viewers that this week actually has been really good week for us, especially in terms of permanent residency grants, as well as other provisional visa grants as well. And 4 or 5 days ago, early this week, we actually received a successful invitation for a global talent visa, and that invitation was actually acquired within 4 to 5 weeks of our global talent visa invitation application. And I would discuss more about that case recently. Plus, we also would like to congratulate our clients. We have few 491 visa grants that actually came this morning, and the applicants they just did the medical day before yesterday. So it's a good news for them. And one of the secondary applicant, Ankur, she's actually pregnant. So what does that mean is that she would be able to actually take some benefit of the Medicare provisions as well. So that is something, it comes really handy in this regard. Um, and moving forward, let's talking about the global talent visa. I would be explaining more details about that visa, in particular, like what it entails, and I will most importantly I will discuss our recent case itself, like what was the our client scenario and on what basis they actually received that global talent visa. Um, so our client particularly, they were actually a developer programmer, and they have the successful skills assessment, and the client has actually, most important thing to note here, Ankur, is that the client, they don't actually had any what's it called, any Australian qualifications at all. So there was no Australian qualification, but the only qualification our client had was actually from overseas. So they
Hmm.
had bachelors of engineering, and then they had masters of engineering as well. And based on that, they were actually already working for a big firm back in India. Then they were actually came to Australia, worked here in Australia, and then they actually started working for one of the big four in Australia themselves. And their income that they were actually earning was above the higher income threshold, was more than 153,600. And based on that scenario, they actually were able to. So this is very important. Just your salary is not the key to get a global talent visa. You would also need to explain to the department how crucial your skills are, how critical those skills are, because pretty much everyone who do study masters or bachelors will also be eligible to get to that level of higher income threshold. But not everyone can actually express to the department that this is the kind of skills I have, etc. So, but the client came to us. She was actually quite nervous, and then they, had some doubts whether she would be able to, get this visa sorted as well or not. So we actually put in front of the department a very strong case, and so based on that, we were actually able to successfully obtain the the global talent GTI invitation for the client. and subsequently we have actually launched the visa as well, and hopefully we probably be able to, because these visas are actually granted on a very quickly, they're granted back really quickly. So what does that means is that people can actually get this visa maybe in the 4 to 5 weeks time frame as well. And if you are, I would just want to let our viewers know as well that if you are actually into this scenario, you are actually planning on, you are studying IT, or if you are a research graduate and you are actually looking forward to, um, you know, if you think that you have actually scored really, you have a good score in your masters, which is more than 85%, you have got high distinction in all of your studies, you probably will also be eligible to actually apply for this visa, provided that you actually successfully explain to the department how important and crucial your skills are. And based on that information, you can actually go ahead and get this kind of visa, which is a global talent visa. It is a permanent residency. A lot of people, Ankur, actually they get confused. They only think that the only permanent residency is actually the PR that you normally get through general skill migration and stuff. But that's not the case. There are other ways you can get permanent residency as well, whereas this is actually one of the ways.
Thank you very, very much, Saurabh, for giving us the information. As said by Saurabh, viewers, that general skilled migration is not the only way for getting the permanent residency. There are other venues as well, but for those venues, you need to seek the advice from a registered migration agent. If you are having any query, you can give us a call. Saurabh's number is 04300 81804. Thank you, Saurabh, and congratulations for the invitation.
Thank you so much. Yeah, so it was it was an effort from our client end as well. I would say that many, and most importantly, as for this visa, you would actually need a nominator as well. And in some circumstances, if you don't have a nominator, that's fine. If you don't have a nominator who can nominate you, we can actually, there is a ACS, Australian Computer Society. They actually started to nominate people for this visas as well. Their fees is to nominate people is around $500, and you would just have to put a very strong case in front of them that, look, this is what my scenario is, would I be able to get a nomination? And in most of the circumstances they do actually tend to nominate people, we have seen, and then they are actually granting nominations in a very profound way. So yes, so if you think that you don't have a nominator and you will actually end up not be able to get nominated by any Australian citizen or anyone like that, don't get disheartened. You can actually contact Australian Computer Society, and they will be actually nominate you based on your skills and your talent.
Talent makes a massive difference.
Absolutely, and that is the most important reason why the Australian government actually tripled the number of these for these visas. So it was actually, that it was sitting at around what's I called 5,000 in the last year, and now that was actually changed to almost what's I called 15,000. So that's actually a very big jump, when you actually look at the numbers there.
Exactly, it is it's exactly the triple number, right?
Absolutely. So this is the visa. I would say a lot of people, they actually start thinking about 189, 190, 491, etc. But think of this as well. You probably don't know. You might be sitting on on a gold mine.
Mm. So technically, at the moment, this is a sort of talent show. If you've got a talent, just grab your permanent residency.
Exactly. Just don't waste. Don't wait at all. And you probably be right sitting. For this, you probably have those skills that the Australian government need, but and or you probably don't know, what I mean. So the best
Exactly.
option is actually give it a shot, and give it a shot in a proper way. Make sure you put your case in front of the department in such a way that that they would actually accept it. They do consider that you do have that kind of talent. That is actually quite crucial and important to a wider Australian community.
And as you mentioned, that words makes a massive difference. A strong submission can get you your permanent residency at your doorstep.
Absolutely. Like it's all about, how do you persuade the department, the case officer who's actually looking at your case, and they're like, you know what, this guy seems to have an outstanding talent. Let's send him an invitation to apply for that visa, etc. Because they already know that those case officers, it's discretionary. And when it comes to discretion, like, you can actually move that a bit around, and you should know the way to do that as well. So most importantly, as we have done it, and we have done it successfully, so we know exactly what we are doing.
Moving forward, the next session, which is state nomination updates. Everyone is waiting for the state nomination update. What is going to be happen? How it is going to be happen? And when it is going to be happen? Saurabh Smar is going to share the updates. Saurabh.
Thanks, Arun, for this, for the introduction. Every day I do get like a lot of phone calls from our clients who wants to know when the states are going to open.
Seems like there is a sort of technical glitch. Let's wait for Saurabh to come.
Sorry, looks like I got disconnected.
The
you
genie
know,
is back.
Okay, so we were talking about state nomination updates. A lot of people actually have confusions. They want to know when the states are going to open, and what the new requirements going to be. Is it going to be a different requirements than pre-COVID, or is it going to be the same requirements that currently have? So apparently, South Australia has actually they were planning on opening up by the end of October, but they have actually pushed it further till the end of November. So there is one thing that to note as well. And Tasmania actually this morning they updated a very crucial important thing which might be helpful for a lot of our viewers if they are chef or cook. So previously, as you know, only health and allied health occupations were part of the 491 or 190 nominations for from Tasmania. But Tasmanian government has actually also included surprisingly chefs and cooks, so
Mm,
they are being considered for their interim quota. So what does that mean is that if they what they're saying is that if your visa is due to expire before 31st of December 2020, and you are a chef or a cook and you are actually eligible for Tasmania requirement, you can actually eligible to apply for the 491 or 190 visa itself for the state nomination. So that is actually very important, and it's like kind of a very good news for a lot of chef and cooks who are actually, and most importantly, they have noticed that as well. When you come to chef and cook, they're looking for not that you must not be working in a limited service restaurant. Okay, you should be working in a service where there is a proper menu, there is a proper the food is being cooked from scratch. Then only they will be able to actually apply for you'll be eligible to apply for the nomination. And if your visa is not expiring by 31st December, if your visa expiring afterwards, there probably be some provisions in place as the test as Tasmania and other states, they are they move forward to get their new requirements in place, etc. So my suggestion for everyone is make sure you are prepared with your skills assessments, with your all documents, employment reference letters, payslip, bank statements, all these kind of necessary documentation. Make sure you have them ready. And then, because as you Ankur, you know that these state requirements, they open it for a short period of time, and then the server goes down because a lot of people wants to log in and apply for them. People from in Australia, people from overseas always try to do that as well. So think of that as well. Take all these things into consideration when actually applying for the visas like that.
thank you very much, Saurabh, for giving this information. This is actually a sort of crucial information. Most of the people, they don't think that this could even be happened, right?
Absolutely.
Because
Yeah,
you're not the only applicant. There are thousands of applicants, those who are actually eager to lodge their application, and server
ab-
is actually having its own limitations.
absolutely. So that is one kind of thing as well. Another important thing that I also want to share with our viewers is that um, New South Wales, they actually did said that they're going to start inviting people very soon, etc. But we haven't actually seen any invitations yet. But there were few nominations that were given out. for the people who actually applied in the last financial year. Those people were actually still waiting for the invitations, but due to the places already being filled, looks like the New South Wales actually given out nominations to those people. And another thing with the ACT Canberra matrix points as well. So the once you do get the Canberra matrix invitation, and then you apply for the nomination, and then the nomination once the nomination gets approved, you receive an invitation to apply for the visa. After that invitation, um, you apply for the visa application. So it's like kind of three-step process. So from matrix nomination till the actual state nomination, during that period, um, ACT government is actually doing vetting these applicants. They are actually cross-checking with various state authorities to see whether the person actually was living in there as well. So none of the state governments have actually taken this that far in order to vet those applicants, just to make sure that they're whatever they are actually claiming to, that they are actually been staying in this area, etc., is actually true, etc. So those are the things that we have to be. I would request our candidates and our people who are viewers to be very careful. Make sure don't put any misleading or deceptive information in the visa application or even the state nomination application, because it can actually come back and bite you in a very wrong way as well. So these are the few things and tips that I would let our viewers know, that this is something that you can actually keep a close eye on, as this is very crucial for general skill migration program for the 2020 and 21 financial year.
So, in a simple manner, Saurabh actually wanted to say that be vigilant. Don't just close your eyes, because any small mistake can bite you. And
Absolutely.
as mentioned in our previous sessions, that not only the health sector or the critical sector occupants will be getting their nomination through the different state authorities. Chef and cooks, they are the first ones, those who are in the line. So you never know, the further occupations, the major occupations will be in the line as well. Thank you, Sarah, for giving this information. And
Absolutely.
any
And
any further like input from you, please?
okay, and also most importantly, Ankur, so there was an invitation round happened in the month of October. That's all. I thought like I should quickly share this with our viewers as well, which
Oh,
is actually the fourth invitation round of this financial year. And I would say that there were like around 30 invitations were given out for 189 visas, and there were around 80 invitations given out for 491 family sponsored visas as well. And for those people, so what they are saying is that the invitations that were given out were actually most importantly were actually for registered nurses, medical practitioners, specialist physicians, psychologists, medical laboratory scientists as well. So this is how the invitations were actually given out. And so that means that the round is still happening, but unfortunately only the invitations were giving out were actually to the people who are actually working in a critical sector, like medical practitioners, physicians, and particular generalized practitioners in particular. So but everyone is actually waiting for the normal round to happen, where they would actually invite engineers and IT people. We are actually waiting for that period as well. So let's hope that that kind of time period come through really quickly as well. And recently also, another thing that I would also like to bring to our viewers attention as well, that no accountant has actually received an invitation, unfortunately, because a lot of people actually wanted to know whether actually invitation round were actually ever issued to any accountant at all. So even they're saying like there was no invitation given out at all.
oh,
um that's the thing, and most importantly, when it comes to New South Wales, so they actually also advised some new information, where they actually said that that they will actually, once their interim quota is finished, they will not invite any more applicants, probably until the end of December. And they haven't actually we haven't seen much invites coming from them either. though the budget was released in the first week of September, but we're still actually waiting for the proper invitation, the proper allocation of nomination places to state authorities. So
Okay.
that's pretty
Thank you
much
very
all.
much, Saurabh, for sharing these state nomination updates. Moving forward to our last segment of the show, live questions and answers. So this has already been requested to our respected viewers that if you are actually having any sort of question, you can ask us in this live session, and our registered migration agent, Mr. Saurabh Smar, is certainly going to answer this. We've got the question from Mr. Imran Bajwa. Imran, thank you very, very much for regular to be like our regular listener. And this question is for you, Saurabh. Hi, Saurabh. Is there any update on NSW 190? When it is expected to be start?
So as as I actually advised that we everyone is actually quite eagerly waiting for New South Wales to actually start nominating people, and they actually did advise that they'll probably be inviting people, in the ICT engineer as well as the medical sector candidates, and they actually haven't provided us a date. Like from that day onwards, we would like to start doing the nomination, invitations, etc. So what they are saying is that they also specifically they have said is that do not rely on the New South Wales nomination. Most importantly, that's what they have actually advised is that do not rely on our nominations. Look into the Department of Home Affairs website if you do need any. If you they are saying what they are saying indirectly is that do not just rely on our nomination. Trying to seek other options yourself, because they themselves may probably don't know when when the federal government would actually allocate the number of places to them so that they can start their migration program again. Because New South Wales was actually last year, they actually did a really good program where they used to invite every third week of the month,
Mm,
and there were a lot of invitations were given out when they do actually send invitations out, and they were really quick in processing their nomination applications as well. And so, Imran, what I would recommend is do not just rely on New South Wales nominations. Look for other options. That is the most important thing, that you can look currently, because that is actually currently what New South Wales is actually implying, that don't rely on us. Go and check other options as well. So if you are working, Imran, I would say look for employer sponsored options. There's plenty of options available. As I always say, GSM is not the only option to get permanent residency.
well, GSM is not the only way to get permanent residency. Seek other options as well. And if you are looking for any advice, you can call Saurabh on number 04300 And this is the time for us to say goodbye to you. Till then, be safe and enjoy your Friday. Saurabh.
Thanks, Ankur. Yeah, so pretty much, so that's we have almost come to the end of our session, and so next week we would come up with some new visa topics as well. As soon as if the department do come up with new outcomes, new updates, etc., we are more than happy to share our case studies with you, with everyone as well. So sometimes, as Ankur, as we discussed previously, that the people probably might be in the similar situation as our clients in, and if we have already got the positive result for our clients, we probably can get that same for you as well. Most importantly, always seek advice from a registered migration agent. You can actually check whether the person is a registered migration agent as well or not on the Department of Migration Agent Registration, Migration Agent Registration Authority. You can check there and search them with the MARN number. So my MARN number is 1802044, and my contact number is 0430081804. And if you do have any inquiry in regards to any kind of visas and stuff, you can actually send us a message or give us a call, or you can even send us a WhatsApp message, and we can most importantly be able to assist you with that. So thank you everyone, for joining us tonight, and certainly we will actually see you next Friday again, 6
See you
p.m.
next Friday.
Take care everyone. Goodbye.
Bye.